Welcome to the Big House here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the site for this second part of our Big Ten Tuesdays. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Michigan Wolverines get ready to go head-to-head in a game that just took on a whole lot more meaning tonight because the Texas Longhorns fell to USC in our first game here tonight, meaning that Notre Dame has a shot now at the Big Ten crown. I'm David Roy, and my broadcast partner with me, Mike Peters. And Mike, all of a sudden, Notre Dame, now it's not just about a playoff spot. Now they're going for that first-round bye.
Well, hold on a second here, David. If Michigan wins, they have the same record as Notre Dame in the conference, and they can still finish 4-2 in conference. So things are not over for the Wolverines just yet.
Well, Michigan's defense, they will get first crack at trying to solve a Notre Dame offense that has been up and down as of late. They only put up 22 points last week against Alabama, and here they go with a play fake, quick pass to the right side, and there's Blake Radloff coming up with 11.
Well, you can say that this offense has been a little inconsistent, but I think it's been clicking pretty well. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Leo Astiata has gone over 300 yards for like the 20th straight game. I think Notre Dame's clicking just fine.
Well, they're going through the air again, and this time Jesse Dozier able to get 18 yards here, and so it's first down and 10.
Jesse Dozier, one of these 5 receivers that all like to get featured in this. 4 of them primarily, Gombis, Jackson, Gillum, and Dozier, but Hall gets worked in as well. They got a couple of tight ends that they feature. A lot of weapons for Leo Asiata to use to attack this defense.
They'll come back in the gun, in a 2-by-2 set. Asiata to throw. Goes short and to the right, and he's able to find Pearson Gillum, who comes up with about 5 yards here.
I think the thing for Michigan that's really going to be pivotal in whether they can win this game or not is, can they slow down Asiata? Alabama did a good job last week, but they weren't able to score enough.
Yeah.
If you can slow them down, you're going to have to score 2. So they got a double-edged sword here. Can they slow down Notre Dame's offense, and can they score themselves? That's an answer that we're going to find out tonight.
Tight end Radloff in motion here as Asiata out of the gun, looks to throw, blitz coming. And he's able to get the pass off to the tight end Radloff, who was a motion man. He gets 12, gets it down inside the Michigan 40s.
I think that Leo, because he hasn't gotten his Player of the Year trophy yet, COVID slowed things down and everything. I think he just decided, you know what, just go ahead and send me 2. And he's been playing well. You wouldn't know it by that point.
No, well, and part of that is you have to give credit to the Michigan secondary and to the defensive line to force the incompletion there.
The secondary and the defensive line both can be busy tonight, and the defensive line going to have to make things easy for the secondary.
Asiata to throw, pressure coming, goes short and to the left, the tight end Radloff fighting his way out to about the 32-yard line as he picks up 6.
Got to keep the third down short and manageable, and they're doing that so far. 3rd and 4 here, a good spot to be in.
Out of the gun, 2 backs in the backfield. Asiata to throw, 4-man rush. Taking a shot and coming up with a big deflection. Juice Staley on 3rd down. That brings up 4th.
Good man coverage there. Staley makes a good play. I thought he had a guy on a drag route underneath. Decided to go deeper. Staley makes the play. Going to force him into a long field goal attempt.
This will be a 45-yarder for Amy Shalizian from that left half. Left hash, Shalizzi remains perfect on the season.
12 of 12, and she's got a line in the sports book over 2.5 field goals. So she's got 1 of the 3 she needs to make people big winners.
Speaking of big winners, Michigan will feel like a big winner tonight if they can get this win. As you mentioned, they'll be 2-2 in conference. They'll have an opportunity to continue to play for the playoffs. And for Michigan to do that, they're going to have to get stops, force field goals out of Notre Dame like their defense did. But as you also point out, they're going to have to put up points and not turn the ball over, which is something Tanner Jones has struggled with this season.
He has, and he's going to need to get things together. He does have 11 touchdowns, but he does have 10 interceptions also. That's got to change.
Tanner Jones, he wants it all right now and into double coverage. Zeus Williams there to knock it down and nearly come up with the 12th pick, or 11th pick, of the season for Jones.
You were talking about records. Made me think about it. If you guys haven't checked out Never Satisfied's and Matt Pack's coaching profiles on the website, they're updated with their career records season by season. Check that out.
Pressure on 1st down. Luke Mingus able to force the incompletion on Tanner Jones, and already Michigan starting at a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, not the way you want to start, and it kind of seems to be par for the course for most of the season as they force themselves in the long 3rd downs and then try and force the ball downfield. They wind up throwing interceptions. They check it down there, But they're going to have more successful offensive drives if they want to knock off this Notre Dame team.
Yeah, they go short and they find Dior Chapman, but he's only going to get half the yardage needed. So the Notre Dame defense comes up with a 3-and-out, forcing the punt out of Michigan, and they're going to put it back in the hands of a Notre Dame offense that has been dangerous as Bubba Bertier gets out to that 36-yard line. And Notre Dame's offense, last week they didn't look so great. An early start here, good first drive, they put up points, but if Michigan's defense can force some turnovers, it could be a long night for them.
Notre Dame's got the second best offense and #1 passing offense in the league. Oh, what a missed opportunity there.
Anthony Rice stepped up for the interception, just couldn't haul it in, and as you said, missed opportunity because that had 6 points on it.
It could have, and they're definitely going to need to come away with those if they get the opportunity.
2nd and 10, pressure coming. Asiata going short into the left sideline. There's Gillum. And it's a short little game, but it does bring up 3rd down and 3rd and medium long here.
Yeah, it's not a situation you want to be in. 3rd and 7's a little bit lower percentage. You'd like to stay in those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4s, but Asiata's one of those guys. He can connect here.
4-man rush going short of the marker and able to step up, make the tackle. Michael Fisher, as Radloff only gets 5. And so the Michigan defense, once again, now they're starting to get into the swing of things here tonight as they come up with another stop.
Some of these can just be feel-out plays. You're near midfield, and you're trying to set the defense up for later on. So maybe later on in that situation, you take a shot more downfield and you try to hit them for some points. So you don't force anything here, and you hope that you get it. But if you're not, you're okay. I don't know if I love that, but it could be something that works out for them later on.
Ball spotted here at their own 29, and Tanner Jones and company. Wide receiver screen, able to complete it to Trey Jackson. He's only going to get a couple, but maybe spreads out the interior of that defense and opens something up later.
Trey Gear did a good job opening that up with his block on the outside, but you're right. Typically those are used to create some space over the middle, and they got a lot of room over the middle right now.
Draw play here for Dior Chapman as Chapman trying to go outside to that right, and they're going to call it a no gain. Really, it's a loss of 1 as it sets up a long 3rd and 9.
Dior Chapman, Dominic Shalizzi, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Week, getting in there on Dior Chapman there, and expect him to have another big game.
Jones to throw, taking a shot on the seam, and it is broken up. Excellent coverage by Devontae Williams Jr. and Greg Brault.
Well, another 3-and-out. Surprise there for the Michigan offense. The one thing I really have struggled with, and this has honestly been kind of par for the course in the entire Michigan history, is they have a history of taking running quarterbacks and trying to make them passing quarterbacks. And Tanner Jones has shown that he doesn't really have the arm to play a downfield passing game. Javon Mack was great in season 2. Running the option, and the more they tried to make a pass, the less effective he was. Tanner Jones is still is kind of in that same spot, and they got to run more for him to be successful.
Asiata to throw here on 1st and 10. He is in trouble, and he gets sacked. Down he goes. The combined might of Logan Simmons and Percy Gunn.
Well, those two guys are going to play a big role here if Michigan wants to play or wants to pull off the upset. You got Justin Williams down there as well, and those 3 guys can create some havoc and make Leo Asiata's night difficult. And I've said it before, typically when you get a sack on a drive, that's the end of the drive. We'll see if Michigan can use that to get Notre Dame off the field.
2nd and 17, Asiata in the gun, 5 wide, going to tuck it and run on the quarterback draw, but not a whole lot there for him to pick up as he makes it 3rd and 15.
I mean, I guess the idea is right. I don't really love it. You're only going to pick up a few. Now you got a really long 3rd down you're trying to convert.
Out of the gun, Asiata. Long 3rd down, halfback screen for Kane St. the 3rd, and it is broken up. Anthony Rice, John Hill, Jordan, all of them got in there to knock it down.
Well, it's interesting, too, because they were bringing a corner blitz off that side, and they ran the screen to that side.
Yeah.
Typically, that's an advantage there, but Michigan does a good job of keeping guys on top of it, and they force the incomplete and the punt.
Trey Jackson from inside his own 30, and able to get it out to about the 39-yard line. So good little return here, but the Notre Dame defense, they've been playing really good. They've only given up 7 yards to a Michigan team that they're trying to take shots downfield to Tanner Jones. Problem is, they're taking shots into coverage. They haven't really set him up, and Dior Chapman has not been the most utilized running back in this system.
No, he's got to be a little frustrated at his workload so far.
Jones rolling right, goes short, and there he'll find his tight end as walk-on Earl Hubbard gets 9 yards.
I suspect that Michigan, came into this game looking at the way that Notre Dame struggled against the pass. They're 12th in the league against the pass. Figured that they could throw the ball on them a little bit. But again, you got to use the running game to set it up a little bit.
Well, they're going to go with a read option, and Tanner Jones, he's got a set of wheels if he can get in the open field. This time, though, able to come up with a stop was Cody Flowers.
Flowers saved a touchdown because he had 2 lead blockers, and if he's able to accelerate in between those two guys, I think it's probably a touchdown.
After the Notre Dame 38 draw play here, Chapman bottled up. This time Al Walker getting in on the stop for no gain. Is Chapman 10 straight games without a 100 rushing yard performance.
Yeah, he's been a little underutilized lately, and they need to find a way to get him going because he is a good back when he's given the opportunity.
Blitz comes, and Jones has to throw it away on second down. Brings us a long third down, of which Michigan has not converted any of their third downs yet.
Dior Chapman, 113, 105, and 205 in his first 3 games. Hasn't hit 100 since.
Jones to throw, goes back into double coverage, and this time the Notre Dame defense makes him pay for it. Running back down that right sideline, Greg Brault, touchdown, Fighting Irish.
Well, we saw a pick 6 in the first game, and it was a wide open, clear path for Marcellus Burney. This one, Brault had to run a little bit.
Yeah.
He had to make his way down that sideline. Great play there by the Notre Dame defense. Going to put him in a 10-point game. Now, one benefit here for Michigan is they are used to throwing the ball around a little bit. But the downside is, can Tanner Jones be consistent throughout a whole game and avoid more turnovers like that? Once he throws one early on in the game, he hasn't proven to be the most stable quarterback.
Juice Staley on the return, and he'll bring this out to his own 21-yard line. So Notre Dame has accelerated out to a 10-point lead. Their offense got 3 on the opening drive. Notre Dame's offense hasn't been able to do a lot since. At 7 points, they've come off that pick 6 by Greg Brault, and now Tanner Jones really having to rebound right now and come back from that. As we'll start from zone 22, going with a wide receiver screen, a dangerous play to come back with as it goes for no gain. Brault there with the stop again.
That's not the play I want to run if my quarterback just threw an interception, especially pick 6.
Yeah.
Could have been 2 pick 6s in 2 plays the way those come about sometimes.
Trips bunch together on the right side. Halfback screen, come back to the left. Dior Chapman, he's got some blocking in front of him, but it pushed him to the sideline where Bubba Bertier will make the stop. It's only a gain of 2 and a long third down.
Yeah, Michigan, they tried to attack earlier downfield, and Jones just hasn't really been adept at doing it. Now they're playing the conservative game, and, well,
it's paying off as Dior Chapman able to break through for the first down, the halfback screen, but they're going to give him another 15. Thought it was going to come back on a clipping call against Michigan and get ruined, but no, Luke Mingus will be flagged with a 15-yard penalty to go on top of the first down that Chapman picked up.
Well, that's a double negative. Not only did you give it the first down on a nice run by Chapman, but then you add 15 on top of it and give him some momentum.
All the way out now to the Notre Dame 47. Halfback screen to the left side. Trey Greer fights through 1, but not 2. It's only going to get him a yard. And right now, Michigan really trying to protect Tanner Jones right now.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first game with Pepino throwing those interceptions. And, now we're seeing it a little bit in this game of they're protecting their quarterback and not making it easy to move the ball down the field.
Quick little pass there to the walk-on at tailback and Roosevelt Payne. It only gets a couple yards, but it's now 3rd and 7, and Michigan has only converted 1 of those tonight. Was the halfback screen a couple plays ago, and that had an extra 15 tacked on. Pistol set to give Dior Chapman, and Dior Chapman is seemingly putting the Wolverines on his back tonight.
And again, he ran for over 100 yards 3 straight games entering the league. One of them was a 200-yard game. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? No, let's start passing the ball. And they haven't been giving it to him. You let this guy lead your team. He can help you get wins, and they just haven't used him enough. But right now they're giving it to him on 3rd down and it's paying off.
And off Chapman again, and this time he's held to just a yard. So 2nd down upcoming.
Probably going to stay short here, but I wouldn't mind with as close to the line as the safeties are playing, taking a shot.
Out of the gun, Jones pumps left, looks as time comes back over the middle and able to connect with his tight end Owen Ryan. He'll get 12 and a new set of downs for the Wolverines.
That was really good defense by Notre Dame, despite giving up the first down, because they played excellent press coverage on the outside. They probably wanted the shot play, just couldn't get it off.
Inside a minute and a half, the give to Chapman. He started right, tried to cut back up the middle, and he's able to get a couple yards, but the Notre Dame defense does a great job rallying to him.
Notre Dame's winning at the point of attack a lot on the defense against this offense, and that's going to be a big determining factor, I think, in this game.
Trips to the right, they give again to Chapman. Chapman running right, cuts back inside, and he'll be held to a gain of 4, so a medium third down here for Michigan.
And Michigan's probably saying, see, this is why we don't run the ball anymore. Well, I think there's more things playing into it. But you do have a good shot here down inside the 20.
You get 4 yards on 6th down. You can get another 4 on third, and it's a new set of downs. They go with a quick pass, find Jackson. He'll get 5 as he toe taps on the sideline.
Look, if you're going to be or put the training wheels back on, so to speak, for Tanner Jones, then at least use him in the read option where he can use his most explosive part of his game is his legs.
Hand off to Trey Greer, who starts left, cuts back right. Held to a yard, though, against this Notre Dame defense that has been stingy so far tonight in the running game.
They've played pretty well early on in this opening frame. Can they keep it up for the whole game? That's going to be the question. They have a 3-on-2 advantage at the top of the screen.
Well, a run to Chapman. Chapman spins through 1, stiff arms a second. Dior Chapman fights through a third before he's finally brought down and held to a 3-yard gain, and that's how we end the opening quarter. Notre Dame's out in front by 10, but Michigan's in scoring range. You're watching the Cfsl on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the second quarter, and it's a goal and 6 yards for a first down. Jones to the end zone, though, and he finds Kurt Andrews for 6.
That's where Tanner Jones is going to excel. In the short to intermediate passing game, he can fire those in there. You use that along with the running game. You've got an explosive offense here at Michigan. They've been pretty conservative with him so far, but he's drove the ball down the field. He got a touchdown there. Now let's see the offense open up a little bit. However, the defense is going to have to keep Notre Dame off the scoreboard. Notre Dame's capable of exploding with large chunks of yards at a time. Michigan's got to guard against that.
Bubba Bertier on the return. He got rocked by Cletus Castle.
I don't think it's fair to have Cletus Castle out on special teams because these poor defensive backs aren't ready for it. And yeah, Bertier paid the price there.
Asiata backed up at his own 17 due to the short return. And let's start with the draw for Kane St. III. And Saints able to get a few yards. The more surprising part of that, though, is that is the first carry of the night for Caden St. III.
Well, Caden St. III busted out with a big game last season against USC, had 5 touchdowns. In that game, he's been pretty lightly used since. He did have 137 yards earlier this season against OSU. But getting him going can definitely help out this offense.
Well, they go to him again on 2nd down. He's able to fare a little bit better. About the same yardage though they got on first down. It's another gain of 3. So right now, 3 yards in the cloud of dust as he approach for a tailback who does not have a rushing touchdown this season.
Well, maybe they can get another one of those 5 touchdown performances.
There you go. Asiata to throw on 3rd and 4, though, and he's sailing this one, and a pass is incomplete. Wanted Gillum, who was open for the first down, but he just can't hold on.
We've seen a lot of drops tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We saw it in the first game, and there Gillum comes up with a crucial drop and hurts his team there. And they're going to have to put it away, so big opportunity coming up here for the Wolverines.
3 straight 3-and-outs for this Notre Dame offense. It's Trey Jackson on the punt return. Able to get across midfield, gets it out to about the 46-yard line, and now Notre Dame's defense, they come back out on the field and just gave up a long scoring drive to this Michigan offense.
Well, we'll see how Tanner Jones' confidence is, how the coaching staff's confidence is with him if they open up the offense a little bit more.
Oh, this pass very dangerous as it was behind the line and batted down. Nearly a fumble or a pick.
Yeah, Brault could have had a second pick 6 of the night.
Yeah.
Gets his hands on that one. Dangerous, and now they're in danger of going back into a shell with their play calling.
Jones to throw. They will go to the halfback screen, but Dior Chapman, he's got an entourage with him as he gets it down inside the 30.
The one thing I will say about the way that they're working this halfback screen, and it's being fairly useful for them as they are using a lot of other short passes. They're using wide receiver screens. They're using short passes. They're using some runs, draws, read option. So it's making the screen a little bit more accessible. The danger that they got to prevent themselves from is going to it one too many times when it does work.
Come back in the gun, first down, the give to Chapman, who's able to just plant and go right up the middle, and he gets it down inside the 15.
That's just an inside zone, hand it off, let him run downhill, and he picks up the big gain. That's what they need more of from this offense. You use that wide receiver screen along with the inside zones, use some play action, and this offense can be productive.
4 wide, 2-by-2 set. Chapman to the right of Jones. They give it to him again, and Chapman runs through one defender, and on his way to get 5 yards as Mingus gets a stop, and quiet lately has been Dominic Shalizzi.
Yes, he's going to have to be active if they want to shut down an inside zone, which is gashing them for big gains right now.
Greer checks in at the tailback spot. They feed it to him up the middle, and held to a 1-yard gain this time as Carlos Luzon gets a stop.
That'll bring up 3rd and 4.
A short third down. This is a situation where they got the touchdown last time. Again, short to intermediate. Jones could be successful. You also got to guard against him running.
Chapman checks into the backfield. Jones a throw. Pressure coming off the edge over the middle. And able to hold on was Tim Benjamin, and what a hit he took.
I think he owes Tim Benjamin Whataburger after this game. Even if they got to drive to Chicago to get it, what a catch there by Tim Benjamin.
So down to the one, the give. Dior Chapman powers his way forward, but he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Dominic Shalizzi comes up to keep him out of the end zone.
And he's going to get credit for his second tackle for loss there. They got 2 more attempts to try to keep him out of this end zone. Trey Greer in the backfield here, though.
Trips to the left, Jones. Read option keeper, Tanner Jones. Touchdown, Michigan.
He's so quick exploding after keeping it there that it's hard to rally and get to him, especially when you're beaten, you're crashing down on the running back. If they could use that more in the open field, he could really gash them for some big plays.
So Michigan now up by 4 at home against a Notre Dame team that came into this game excited to see that Texas fell tonight because it opened up a path for Notre Dame to be able to try and get a Big Ten crown. But Michigan saying, hey man, we just want to get into the playoffs. We just want an invite to the dance.
Well, right now they've got themselves in a decent position. They've pretty much got to win out. What a return here.
Big return for Bubba Bertier down close to the 44-yard line, about the 45, but Notre Dame's offense, last 3 drives, they've ended in 3 and outs, and Austin Gambas might be a reason why. They have not looked his way yet tonight.
Well, I don't think he's the reason why. Maybe the play calling. They definitely got to get their key receiver involved a little more, and you got to let Asiata air out his arm.
Asiata to throw, goes short over the middle, finds Kane Saint the third, and he'll advance it across midfield to bring it a yard short of the line to gain.
And for you kids that are looking at creating a new profile, Leo Asiata's got his own archetype on the Season 9 archetype sheet. So if you want to be a player of the year candidate, that might be one that you look at.
3-step drop, and Asiata just lets this one sail out of bounds. Michigan brought a blitz, and he just didn't feel like he had time.
I don't mind going for it on 2nd and 1 because now you got an opportunity again here on 3rd and 1. Maybe go read option here, just give it to Saint the third.
Out of the gun, they give it to Kane Saint the third, and he gets bottled. Michael Fisher led the way, and he'll be stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Like I said, you should have went read option. That was a good job by the Michigan defense. And now they'll probably be pinned deep here, but they got a lot of time to work with, try to move this down, and try to make this a 2-score game.
Good job by the Michigan defense. I think they did a great job. 4 straight 3 and outs forced by the Wolverine defense here tonight as Trey Jackson, decent return, but a flag is thrown. And it is a clipping call, so Michigan's getting backed up deep into their own territory.
Bray Ward's the one that gets called there. Normally he's a cornerback, but they got him out there blocking, and he gets a little aggressive there, hits somebody in the back, and he gets called with the clipping. Well, you know, if they could throw a pass here for 88 yards and tie the longest pass play ever. So there is a positive to this.
Jones a throw, goes short, finds the tight end Owen Ryan, who breaks it through 3 to 4 tackles on his way to moving the sticks.
Well, I thought he might have hurt us, and he was going to try and make an 88-yarder happen, but much like Carter Cook in the first game, I was going to set an over-under on how long it was going to take him to get down the field if he's going to have to break that many tackles.
It's a three-star tight end at work too. Is Jones going to work in the running game, able to cut inside for the first down. What a play to get past the defensive end and avoid the sack.
That was a little Houdini action there. I think he might have cut back and had it did like one of those power slides like you're on a skateboard where you put your hand down and you change your direction, and a nice run there by Jones.
And off Chapman, working the right side, and Carlos Luzon able to finally bring him down in the backfield.
Was it Luzon or Luzon?
Bring up second and 11.
That was Luzon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I mispronounced that. I'm sorry.
Come on, David.
You know,
Oh, boy.
loss of a yard. Long second down.
He's the one that told me it, and we've got it written on the sheet.
It is. It's
And he's not even listening to his own pronunciation guide.
Three-man rush. Jones finds Benjamin again. And so Tim Benjamin only had one catch last week. Well, he's got two here tonight, but for less yards.
Well, he's one of those guys that they got to try to get open on the outside. I realize this is a good secondary, but you got to use your weapons and try to find them for big plays.
Trips left, Jones. Taking a shot to the left side, and he's able to find Trey Greer for a new set of downs out to the Notre Dame 41.
And now's a good time to come back with an inside zone or maybe a read option play. You went to the outside, you got him thinking that way a little bit. You've used the halfback screen a little. Now let's go to the run game. Read option, I think, would really be nice here because if it's played right, you got an opportunity for Tanner Jones to pick up big yards.
Trips top the screen here for Michigan as Jones trying to set up that halfback screen. Didn't like the setup, didn't like the pass rush, so he throws it away. Second down now.
Well, that's a little bit of a young quarterback getting a little frustrated and throwing that way earlier than he needed to.
4 wide, Trips top the screen here this time, but the receiver in motion is the tight end Ryan. Set up a 2-by-2 look. Jones a throw. Has time, going to take it a run. And this time he cannot pull off the Houdini act successfully. He'll lose 2 as Luke Mingus is credited with the sack, his 3rd on the season.
Well, they did a good job there. Josh Davis, the walkout, was the first guy in there, and then Mingus and Shalizzi corralling there. Mingus going to get credit with the tackle. So Notre Dame does a good job there to force them into the long third down. This is a tough spot for this Michigan team where, again, Tanner Jones struggles on the longer throws.
Jones a throw, taking a shot right side, and Andrews can't hold on. Devontae Williams Jr., excellent coverage.
Well, it was a good place throw and good zip on that one, but he left him up in the air a little bit, and good defensive play there to rip that one out of there. And now we'll see if Notre Dame can do anything other than go 3 and out.
Well, Michigan will punt it away, and this punt will hit inside the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback. So inside of 4 minutes of play here in the opening half. Now Notre Dame started strong, at least we thought they were going to. Went down the field, opening drive, field goal, pick 6 on Michigan's second drive. And their offense has offered precious little since, going 4 straight 3 and outs. Here they go with a counter, and Kane St. III got leveled in the backfield by Anthony Rice.
Kane St. III's not had many opportunities to create something, and they're not utilize them a lot. And so going to a guy too much can be a bad thing. Going to him too little can also be a bad thing. And right now, I don't think Saints had an opportunity to work himself into a rhythm.
Asiata, quick throw to the right side, and Jesse Dozier, not a lot for him there as he only gets 5, but 3rd and 7 nonetheless for Notre Dame.
Well, they're one play away from another 3 and out here, David.
Yeah. Notre Dame yet to convert on 3rd downs here tonight. They're 0 of 5. 4 wide here for the Fighting Irish. Asiata, pressure coming off the edge, able to convert as Dozier hauls it in out to the 39.
Way too soft coverage there by the Michigan defense. I'm not quite sure why they were playing so soft there on a 3rd down, but they gave him a lot of room, gave him the outside. And you got to think, on a 3rd and 7, you're looking to the outside, you're looking for an out, you're looking for a comeback. And they gave him a lot of cushion out there. Asiata able to find it and complete it for the first down.
Michael Ropine was able to get over there and with some help from Juice Staley make the stop, but out to the 40. Asiata to throw, pressure again off the edge, and pass is caught on the side by Gillum, but he got leveled by John Hill Jordan.
That's a gain of 4 on one play. That makes it 2nd and 6.
Reached, and what a hit. Second and 6 from the 44. Asiata to throw, short, and a pass is snagged out of the air with a one-handed grab. Michael Ropine with a pick.
Well, Ropine was in there to make a tackle a couple plays ago, and then he comes up with the big catch there as he dives out in front of that one. One of the more athletic plays that you'll see, and a big turnover for this Michigan team.
So Michigan now with an excellent spot. Ball spotted at the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Jones, the give to Chapman, able to get 4.
Just a little handoff up the middle there. Again, Chapman hasn't been able to get going outside of his first couple of runs. Notre Dame's going to, good job taking that away. They want to force Tanner Jones to pass.
Jones to throw, 3-man rush. Dancing, comes back left side. And Dior Chapman in the flats, able to get close to the first down, but he is a yard short there.
Well, it's going to set up a 3rd and 1, which gives them a lot of opportunities. Tanner Jones still an option on the read option, or just give it right up the middle to Chapman and let him barrel home for the first.
And sprout the defense, too, with 4 wide. Chapman up the middle. Did he get there? No, he got stopped.
Well, that's your man Luzone there, along with Shalizzi getting in there to make the stop. And Michigan not going to go for it here on 4th and inches. Going to play field position and punt this one away.
So Notre Dame able to force a 3-and-out of their own against Michigan, something that the Fighting Irish have not done since early in this game. It was Michigan's second drive the last time that Michigan was held to a 3-and-out offensively.
Well, Michigan's going to let time run down here and try to take this closer to the half, try to prevent Notre Dame from having very much time to drive down the field and either make this a closer game or even take the lead.
Well, Notre Dame does have 3 timeouts, and as time ticks down, the snap, the punt, and it will be called for a fair catch, but it hits in the end zone for a touchback. So Notre Dame starting from their own 20, 58 seconds to play, 3 timeouts, and an offense that's not taking a lot of shots downfield.
I'm going to call it 1-play touchdown.
Calling that 1-play touchdown.
1-play touchdown.
The shot has been called. 4 wide, Asiata to throw. Dancing to his left, comes back over the middle. Able to make the catch is Dexter Jackson. He gets 18. Not a 1-play touchdown, but a 1-play first down.
I know. I said it was 1 play was going to result in a touchdown.
I'm glad you clarified that. Out to the 38, Asiata to throw. Back over the middle, and nobody's home.
See, I knew something like that was going to happen. So you got to say on a play touchdown will occur.
Second down and 10 here for the Fighting Irish. 2 tight ends on the field, interestingly enough, for this Notre Dame offense. As Asiata goes, it looked like he wanted to throw it at the back of his offensive lineman. And he did.
Who's keeping things interesting? Got to keep it fresh.
I guess. Maybe he just wants to convert a 3rd down again here tonight. 3rd and 10, Asiata to throw. 5-man rush, and he left a lot of air for Jackson, who had to go up high to catch it. And it cost him a few yards as Simmons got over there to make the stop.
Asiata looked good early on, but he's kind of left something to be desired on the last several drives. Both of these offenses really struggling here, later in this first half, and especially Notre Dame.
Trey Jackson on the return. He's going to set up Michigan with pretty good field position. Now they called a timeout, so now Tanner Jones can at least try to get him into field goal range.
And again, 1 play will probably result in a touchdown, but it also may not.
Could also lead to a field goal.
Maybe.
Halfback screen, Dior Chapman stiff arms Al Walker and then gets flattened by Dominic Shalizzi.
Well, not the way I'd like to start that drive, as you're forced to take a timeout and you don't get a whole lot of yards out of it.
Out to the 39. Jones in the gun, 4 wide. 2-man rush here. He goes short, finds Dior Chapman, but he lost the football. And Carlos Luzon gets the pickup.
Guess who forced that fumble?
Shalizzi.
Yes. Reigning 2-time Defensive Player of the Week. And he has got 2 tackles for loss and now a forced fumble. So he is fighting hard to get his name back up there on the ballot after you said he was quiet earlier in this game.
I did. And, I guess Shalizzi hurt me because his play is starting to speak volumes.
Well, maybe it's time for Leo Asiata's play to start speaking something.
Out of the gun, 4 wide, 2 timeouts remaining is Asiata over the middle for Gambas, and then he gets spun by Staley.
Well, I think he left him out to dry a little bit because he had to give him his number in the offseason.
Out of the Michigan 30. Tight end emotions rattle off. Asiata to throw. Pressure off the edge and Bray Ward, but he finds Kane Saint the 3rd, and the check down breaks 1, but not 2.
Again, I don't like that. Way too conservative play calling. You only got 1 timeout left. You got to hurry up. Just kind of a waste of time here.
4 ticks. Asiata looking short, finds Kane Saint the third, and he can't make it to the end zone as time expires. And so at the end of one half of play, Michigan's got a 4-point lead over the visiting Irish.
I think I've come to the realization that everybody with a headset on the sideline gets increasingly loud heavy metal music blasted into their headsets in the last 20 seconds of a half, and that's why the play calling is so funky.
You think that's what it is?
That's my.
Or maybe it's a ref and they can't hear the head coach signaling for a timeout.
That's my theory.
Okay,
at least.
Well, what's your theory on how well Michigan has responded despite starting in the hole down 10?
They have picked it back up a little bit. Mostly it's been because the Notre Dame offense has been so inept. So you got to give a credit to the Michigan defense. Ropine coming up with the big interception. Really, the Michigan defense has played really well, but had Notre Dame been a little bit more efficient on offense, Michigan very likely playing from behind. So they're going to need to figure things out a little bit better too. They are winning, they are doing well, but it's mostly been their defense.
Look at the two offenses here, and in passing terms, Michigan and Notre Dame been very similar. They've been able to move the football downfield really effectively through the air. Michigan's running game has played pretty well. The problem for Notre Dame, outside, because they're even
outside
winning the turnover
of minus
margin.
1 yard.
Yeah, outside of minus 1 yard, they also haven't been able to really move the ball and try to wear out this Michigan defense when you look at the time.
Well, outside of 5 straight 3-and-outs.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That's kind of what I mean. When
there's
you
a
don't
few
have the ball very
things
long.
not going their way tonight that they are contributing to shoot themselves in the foot, and they didn't put up tremendous numbers last week, and they were able to win in that close game against Alabama. But I think they're going to need a little bit more than that. Even though Michigan's not blowing their doors back, they are moving the ball a little bit more effectively than Alabama was.
Well, Michigan will start the second half with the football in their possession as Trey Jackson fighting for a big return here. And great effort to shake off several tackles and give Tanner Jones another opportunity here offensively.
You're up by 4 right now, and you are at home. And I think you got a little bit to work with. I don't say necessarily right here, but at some point take a shot at the end zone.
Let's start with a counter run instead. And Dior Chapman's breaking tackles all the way out at about the 45-yard line.
I'm telling you, this guy is an animal, and if you let him keep working and build himself into a rhythm, he can really wear down defenses. And he got his 14th carry, so they have used him a little bit more, and I like that. He started off use them a little bit more lightly, but they are starting to work him in now, and I think that's going to play well for the Michigan offense.
First down and 10, official spot at the 44. Wide receiver screen, Tim Benjamin. Able to turn upfield, get a nice gain, and now Michigan's starting to find success in the wide receiver screen game as well.
Well, they're also using Benjamin on a lot of short 5 to 6 yard passes. I want to see him get a little bit further downfield and stretch out this defense.
We'll see how stretch out the defense gets here. Empty backfield, Andrews a man in motion as a screen play here for him to the left side, and almost like a tunnel screen as he gets a first down.
It worked for the first down. I think he could have had more yards if he goes outside because he had a blocker out there that didn't have leverage on his guy. But either way, good play there, and that could be setting up a deep play down the middle.
Trips bunch to the left. Jones, taking a shot to the right side, and there's Tim Benjamin across the marker for a first down.
He's a weapon that you can use. They use him on a corner around here, and he gets open almost more of like an out route, but he finds him on the outside and creates the big play. Now I think you've stretched out the middle of this defense. You could take a shot down the middle. You can also run it straight up the middle, I think.
Down to, say, the Notre Dame 30. Tanner Jones, 4 wide here. Goes back over the middle, finds Trey Greer as he was coming on a short little in there. Only gets a few.
I think Notre Dame might have been expecting a deep pass because they brought the house there, and he had to check it down with just a little short pass. So, again, Notre Dame's doing a good job of trying to take away what Michigan's wanting to do.
Jones is hit as he throws. Al Walker came with the pressure, and it's now third down.
Well, they were lucky not to turn that one over, as that could have very easily turned into a fumble. But instead, they got this medium-long third down.
They're in 7. Jones, throwing middle of the field, finds Andrews, but he can't hold on. So Michigan's still in field goal range, but it's a long one.
Stick 'em, 80s. Stick 'em. Invest in fortuitous amounts of stick 'em.
Cassius Cfsl out for a 45-yard field goal attempt, and he delivers to make it an even 7-point game.
12 of 14 kicking. It seems like every kicker is going to get the 2 misses this season, and he's already got his, so he knocks that one home. We saw Baker Cook get his second earlier tonight, second miss. But yeah, knocks that one home, 7-point lead.
Bubba Bertier looking for a
You're still stuck on that fortuitous amounts of sticking.
No, I was actually going to say, it's interesting that you mentioned that every kicker is going to have at least 2 misses this season, because when I looked at the stats today, there are actually 4 kickers in the league right now who are perfect on field goals this season.
Just wait, David.
Amy Shalizzi's one of those kickers.
Not all of them, but I would bet probably 3 of the 4 wind up with 2 misses. I don't know. It's just a trend that's developing this season.
Well, here's a trend for Notre Dame tonight. A short pass finds Pearson Gillum, and he gets 7 yards, but Notre Dame's playing really close to the line of scrimmage tonight.
They are. They've been pretty conservative, and you know, Asiata is functioning well when he's playing downfield, kind of like a Matt Stafford kind of. They're just not letting him do that right now.
Well, here's Kane St. III, able to find some success in the ground game here. One of the few moments that he's had such success here tonight.
Well, and again, they're not going to him enough to really get him in a rhythm, so they're going to kind of use him on those draws and stuff, just try to keep this defense honest and maybe catch him off guard.
From the 38-yard line, tight end in motion is Radloff. Asiata, halfback screen of his own. Kane St. III can't get away from Percy Gunn.
Yeah, you know, you go with a nice little run on first down, and then you screw it all up with a halfback screen on second down. On the
first down.
4 first down, 2, and then get the first down. They screw it up, and yeah, they've got me discombobulated.
Empty backfield here for Leo Asiata. 4 wide to the left as Asiata to throw. Checks it down in the hands of Kane St. III, and he drops it again. Another drop.
Copious amounts of stickum.
Yeah.
Whatever word you want to use, giant vats of stickum. Invest in them.
Well, Notre Dame's always had a problem with drops. You mentioned it earlier tonight, but not dropping that one. Dexter Jackson on the right sideline for 40 yards.
Dexter Jackson, he's one of these guys, been around for a while with this Notre Dame team, comes up with big plays, and actually came into the game leading the team in receptions by 1 over Austin Gambas, and he comes up with a big one there.
Well, Austin Gambas at Notre Dame, we've only called his name once here tonight.
Yeah, they're not using their big-time weapons very well.
But out down to the Michigan 26-yard line. Tight end in motions, Radloff. Asiata out of the gun. The read option keeper, and Leo Asiata's got a first down and a whole lot more, down to the 11.
He can catch teams like this when you use him occasionally.
Yeah.
They've gotten in rhythms where they try to do it 5 or 6 times a game. Doesn't work. If you just spring it on them when they're not waiting or not expecting it, he can be effective.
2 tight ends on the field for this first down. Single back set, 3-step drop. Asiata, quick throw. Finds the tight end, P.J. Jackson. He'll get 7. So short second down here inside the 10.
You know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to go with another read option here, although the way they're stacking the box, I say either run it to the outside with Saint or you throw a play action.
Goal line set, 5-step drop. Asiata looking, rolling, and he will get sacked. Michael Fisher gets home.
Well, he had a guy running across the field. Juice Staley was covering him, but he had a step, but he elected not to go to it. Then he holds on to it a little bit too long there, and that allows Michael Fisher to get in there for the sack.
So Notre Dame backed up to the 12. 3rd and 10. Needing to get down inside the 1 for a first down. By that point, might as well go for the touchdowns. Asiata looking short. Kane St. III fighting. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
One thing we haven't seen a lot from this season is Kane St. III running the ball, but he has got one of those guys who's got a strong lower body. And even though he's not known for running through guys, if he can get his legs under him, he can push through some defenders, which he does there, gets into the end zone. Excellent play there by Kane St. III. Now they're an extra point away from tying it up.
So Amy Shalizzi attack it on, everything back up at 17. And interestingly enough, that's the first touchdown of the night by this Notre Dame offense and their first points of the night since the opening quarter.
Bradley Brown Rehnquist asks, how big is Asiata? 6'5", 265.
He's a big man. Trey Jackson here on the return. He wants a big return. Down the left sideline, Trey Jackson pushed out of bounds at the Notre Dame 42 by Amy Shalizzi.
The kicker got him. The kicker, oh, he's going to hear about that. The kicker got him. If you can't outrun the kicker, you're definitely going to hear it.
Oh,
you're going to
sure.
hear it from your teammates on the sideline, but still an excellent return there by Trey Jackson and sets Michigan up here with good field position and opportunity to try to regain the lead.
Well, the guys in chat, I think, would like to hear their name called. Bradley Rehnquist, Allen, Dorian Cope, Tim Benjamin, Joshua Williams, Eric Surratt.
Pretty sure it's Surratt.
Surratt, excuse me. Doug Mattingly, Russell Brazel, Ted Stern, ex-Mafia, and anybody else I might have missed. I apologize as Tanner Jones takes a shot downfield, incomplete. Second down and 10.
Not sure what he was looking at there. Maybe just didn't like anything, so he's throwing it away. He decided to, air his arm out a little bit and take the long route. But he didn't throw a pick, so good play.
Second and 10. Jones comes back short over the middle this time, finds Kurt Andrews, and he'll pick up a little more than half the distance he had for the first down. So it's a very manageable third down right now.
And you still have options here. You could hand it off. You could go read option. You could even go play action and try to take a shot since you're right on the edge of field goal range.
Trips left, Jones to throw, three-man rush. Floats it to the left side, finds Andrews again, and he's able to get it down inside the red zone.
Jones seems to be having a nice chemistry with Andrews on those kind of short intermediate, those ones that they asked to lead him with the touch pass, which he does there. He was wide open, has all the time in the world to drop a perfect pass in, and he does, and they get the first down.
Vontae Williams Jr. and company with some help from Solo and guys like Williams, able to keep him from getting a little bit more, but officially spotting this one down at the Notre Dame 16-yard line. And so Tanner Jones out of the pistol to give to Chapman. Right up the middle, Dior Chapman showing power as he picks up 8.
I wouldn't be opposed if they gave him the ball again here, maybe 2 more times in a row if he doesn't get in the end zone. Because he's the kind of back that can power you in down here inside the 10.
He's got to take a breather on the sideline here for this second down. Trey Greer checks in. Jones to throw. Pressure coming. Tries to tuck it and run. And he'll spin out of trouble. Cuts back to the inside. And he's still going to get sacked.
Well, he did his best Houdini impression there. The thing I would have liked to have seen, instead of just being so committed to the run, at some point when he broke that second sack attempt, if he just popped up and threw it away. That would have been a very key play right here. If he just takes it and throws it away instead of still looking to run. I mean, I get it. You're under pressure and, you feel like the dogs are chasing you and you're just trying to find a fence to jump over. But that would have been a very heady play.
Instead, he puts Michigan in 3rd and 7. Now, even if they don't get this, they're in field goal range. But you got to think, at this stage of the game against Notre Dame, who's playing you close, you'd like 7 instead of 3.
Well, for sure.
Jones over the middle, finds Andrews, rocked by Shalizzi, a yard short of the marker.
Well, do they go for it? They're not going to, but you could make the argument that wouldn't be a bad spot because it'd be a long field for Notre Dame to drive.
Cassius Castle comes out, and he'll put on the 24-yard field goal attempt to give Michigan the 3-point lead with 3:18 in the third.
Well, you're leaving Notre Dame an opportunity here. They haven't seen a lot of big plays from them, and one big play on the outside of Austin Gomes or even Dexter Jackson, and they could blow this game open and give Notre Dame the lead.
Well, Bubba Bertier gets a pretty good return, and he'll bring it out to about the 29-yard line here for Notre Dame. Now, we saw Notre Dame take a shot on their last drive. It picked up 40 yards with Dexter Jackson. Outside of that, they haven't done a lot of that here tonight. We'll see if Asiata will do so here. Instead, he throws it short, and it's nearly picked by Justin Williams, the defensive end.
Well, he's lucky that was Justin Williams out there, not Juice Staley or Bray Ward, because otherwise that's probably 6 points.
2nd and 10, 3:08 to play in the third. Asiata trying to set up the halfback screen. Finds Kane Saint the third down the right sideline, and Saint gets 18 yards all the way out to midfield.
Well, and again, they haven't been using it a lot, so it's effective when they go to it there. Just don't abuse it. Now that you got them thinking about the screen outside, maybe go play action, take a shot downfield. Neither one of these teams have really tried to take a shot outside of that early on one from Tanner Jones.
And Tanner Jones took a couple early shots downfield. And the biggest shot we saw from Leo Asiata tonight came on his last drive. He picked up 40 yards with Dexter Jackson down that right sideline. He'll empty out the backfield here. Maybe another shot on the way. As Asiata short, left side, finds a walk-on, and he gets stood up by Bray Ward.
I think he was looking more downfield there, but Michigan did a good job taking it away from him. So on that play, he just took what the defense was giving him.
Down now to the Michigan 44-yard line. Asiata the give, Kane St. the third to the inside, not quite able to get the first down as Nathan Johnson comes up with a stop.
Yeah, that time he wasn't able to power through. Johnson does a good job with that open field tackle, but he is a possibility here on this 3rd and inches.
Out of the gun, Asiata. Short to the middle, finds Austin Gombas. He gets the first down to the 35 of Michigan.
I would have probably liked to see them run it a little bit more. I thought they had some numbers and some leverage up the middle, but Asiata does a good job converting it. Now they got to convert this one and at least get the field goal. They really could use the touchdown here, put some pressure on this Michigan offense.
Trips left for the Fighting Irish inside 2 minutes of play. The give to Kane St. the third, and St. barrels forward, dives for the first down, but they're going to spot him a little short.
2nd and inches, go for the end zone.
Play action, take a shot.
I don't even think you got to run play action. The safeties are playing, or the whole defense is playing off there.
Read option keeper, Leo Asiata being chased by Williams, and the defense closes in, drags him down at about the 15.
And, they're playing not super conservative because they are going to the read option with Asiata, but they're taking the first down. The one thing I don't like about it is the closer you get to the goal line, the harder it is to throw the ball.
1:28 and counting to play in this 3rd quarter. 3-step drop. Asiata goes short to the wide open Blake Radloff, and he drags his way into the end zone.
Well, that was a great play call there because Juice Staley was on that side. He rallied underneath to pick up the flat receiver, which left Radloff wide open, and then he couldn't recover in time to chase down Radloff. Excellent play call against the defense. They executed it perfectly. Notre Dame gets a touchdown. They got their first lead in quite a while.
So Notre Dame back out in front over Michigan, a lead they have not had since the opening quarter. And now Michigan trailing by 4, but the way their offense and their defense has performed, they can't feel too poorly about the spot they're in, especially after a pretty decent return by Juice Staley.
Well, I mean, they can feel decently. They still haven't been very consistent passing the ball, and without a deep threat, eventually I think that Notre Dame's going to start clamping down on the shorter stuff, which is going to make it more difficult to pass the ball.
First down and 10, Jones to throw. He'll check it down, finds Chapman. I'll do a gain of 3.
Case in point, Notre Dame was ready for it, rallies quickly after the completion, limits them to 3 yards. You're going to have to be able to throw the ball a little bit deeper. Now, Kurt Andrews has been effective to you on like the 10-yard route, but will Notre Dame start taking that away?
Jones to throw, short and to the left, and Chapman slips off one, fights through Luzon, and gets the first down.
Hey, when you got a guy like Dior Chapman that's just going to break 2 or 3 tackles to get your first down, why not keep feeding it to him? By the way, 39 passes, only 204 yards,
and
barely 5 yards per attempt.
Playing very short here for Michigan is Jones short again. This time finds the 3-star in Kobe Shade. He gets about 5 yards here, but as you said, playing very short, close to the line.
We haven't seen much from Kobe Shade. He joined this team a few weeks ago, and he has been pretty seldom used, but comes up with a nice catch there.
So 2nd and medium for the Wolverines. Inside of 30 seconds of play here in the 3rd. Ball spotted about the 43, 44-yard line. 4 wide. Draw play, Chapman with some running room, fighting with Shalizzi, and he'll be stopped ultimately a yard shy.
Well, he got hung up on his blocker a little bit there and wasn't able to get off of it. Bertier is able to come up and help bring them down, but they do have a short 3rd down when we come back from the break.
So at the end of 3, Notre Dame's back out in front, ahead by 4, but can Michigan pick up their 2nd win of the season? Stay tuned to find out. You're watching Cfsl on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the 4th quarter, read option keeper, Tanner Jones. Looking for a lane, commits to the outside, and down the right sideline he goes, all the way out to the Notre Dame 21.
He's so fast when they get him out there, and it's kind of a shame that they don't use him much like Scott Fountain we talked about last week. It was a crime against the league not to see him run more, and I feel the same way with Tanner Jones. They're both built very similarly, have very similar skill sets. and allow them to run a little bit more, I think makes your offense more explosive and your team more exciting.
Out of the gun, Tanner Jones, bubble screen left side, and Notre Dame was ready for John Hill Jordan on the screen.
Yeah, you don't see him available on offense very much. That's interesting.
So John Hill Jordan gets a catch, but he doesn't get any yardage out of it as Bubba Bertier records his 6th tackle of the night, and so Jones to throw on 2nd down. Short and to the right. Having to come back for it was Benjamin. Trying to turn upfield. He only gets a couple, though, and so 3rd down for the Wolverines.
I'm still hung up on John Hill Jordan there. That was a wrinkle I didn't expect.
Well, Notre Dame didn't seem fooled by it. 4 wide again for the Wolverines as Jones, 2-man rush, steps up into the pocket, going short again. Finds Andrews, but Bertier was stuck to him like glue.
Too conservative again, but now they're going to go for it on 4th and 7. I mean, early in the 4th quarter, I think you kick the field goal. I don't know what the point is of going for it here.
4 wide trips left. Jones to throw, 3-man rush. Going short again. It's nearly picked off by Dominic Shalizzi. By the way, it's 10 tackles tonight.
Man, he's got a forced fumble and a pass deflection. So with a few more tackles tonight, he's probably going to see his name up on the Player of the Week ballot yet again.
Dominic Shalizzi able to bat it down, and so turnover on downs for Michigan offensively, but can their defense maybe come up with the turnover?
It's possible. The way both of these offenses are playing, anything is possible, good or bad.
Leo Asiata is going to come out empty backfield from zone 16. He's going to fire a laser down the left sideline. They led Jackson out of bounds as he picks up 27.
Yeah, when he goes back and watches that on the tape, if he's not already, he's going to be kicking himself because he had 6 there, and he just forced Jackson a little bit too far to the outside. He winds up stepping out of bounds. But still, a nice big play there to get across the 45.
Well, you saw it there. Dexter Jackson, he knows that he had 6 points in his hip pocket and was led out of bounds, so he's frustrated as well. 1st and 10, wide receiver screen. They go back to Jackson, trying to placate him, and he'll get 4 this time.
Well, you've gone deep. Now you've gone outside. Now inside zone, run the ball straight up the middle.
Out to the 49-yard line. Single back set here
Michigan
for the Fighting
trying to
Irish.
take it away, though.
2 tight end set play fake. Asiata coming back over the middle with a pass for P.J. Jackson, the big tight end, able to get it all the way down inside the 25 of Michigan.
Well, it was a great job there. They were playing a little bit more of a pinched line, and they had a couple linebackers, and I don't think they were going to run effectively. So Notre Dame wisely, expects what Michigan's going to do, and they call the play action off of it and get another nice play out of it.
So P.J. Jackson had a couple of catches tonight, and he's a tight end who he comes in tonight, 11 catches, 53 yards, more used than Radloff, who's been a big part of this Notre Dame offense, as Radloff is the starting tight end here. And Asiata against a 3-man rush over the middle, and what a shot on Jackson. One went high, the other went low.
And they said he caught that. I thought he for sure dropped that. He just set it down, I guess. I think he might have lost consciousness and lost the ball, but the refs are going to say that he was just setting it down politely after getting creamed on that.
What a shot dished out at that. And so Asiata to throw again to the end zone, but not able to get across was Gillum. He's down to the 1.
Would like to see a little bit more zip on that ball, because if he throws it just a little bit faster, he could turn upfield inside of Johnson and maybe get that touchdown. But either way, it's going to be a 1st and goal inside the 1.
Inside of 6.5 minutes of play. This is a big spot for both teams. Empty backfield here for Leo Asiata. Quarterback draw. Asiata fighting forward. Cannot get there, stopped at the 1.
Not an unexpected play there. Michigan was ready for it. A lot of teams will use the quarterback draw down there. One thing we haven't ever seen was a QB sneak.
Yeah.
That would be an effective play for a man of his stature.
It would. They're not going to call it here, though. Jesse Dozier's in the backfield as he out to throw. Pressure coming, and it is intercepted in the end zone. What a play by Cletus Castle to keep points off the board.
And Cletus Castle's been one of those guys that's consistently stepped up week in and week out. He's taken over that role that Nate Jones filled in season 2 and 3. And they finally got that big play linebacker in the middle of trying to put the rest of the pieces together. Now they got an opportunity to take the lead here.
Draw play, Chapman to begin the drive. And Dior Chapman not going to get a whole lot, barely a yard against this Notre Dame defense.
Notre Dame's played well against him. He has had a couple of pretty impressive runs, but overall Notre Dame's done a really good job of shutting him down.
3 wide, Tanner Jones in the gun. 3-man rush, going over the middle, finds Benjamin. Tim Benjamin, not quite enough for the first down.
Well, again, Shalizzi's right on top of him and wrestles him down, so not a lot of room with which to operate. But again, 3rd and 1 here. You got some options, although I'd like a dive play right up the middle.
Still set. The give to Chapman right up the middle, but he got stopped by Walker, and then Shalizzi comes in with his 12th tackle, 3rd tackle for a loss to clean it up.
Well, they finally listened to me, but it doesn't work. And you got to give credit to the Notre Dame defense. You went with your best play, and they brought their best play, and they just won.
Dominic Shalizzi able to step up once again, trying to put his name in the Player of the Week conversation. As Bubba Bertier gets a pretty good return here after about the 45, and that means Notre Dame right now, they got the pick in the end zone on their last drive. Can they finally capitalize on it?
Well, we're going to see. Michigan's going to need another big defensive play here.
And the 46, Asiata over the middle, and pass falls incomplete.
Good coverage. I didn't see who it was in coverage, but they do a good job of hitting them as the ball's coming in and keeping that as an incompletion.
Receiver tried to reach up with a hand and maybe haul it in, but could not do so. And so Asiata, 2nd and 10, pass over the middle, and the slant route for Jackson, and he'll get the first down.
I really like Dexter Jackson's player. You know, he came on late last season, got suspended, really filled in well. Hasn't necessarily been as big of a part of the offense as maybe they expected. Gombas has taken some of his shots, but he's a really effective player. You know, Beasley in the first game, you know, they're kind of filling that role for me that I liked from Eric Maltzer last season.
Out to the Michigan 37-yard line here, 1st down and 10. And they go with the read option keeper, Leo Asiata. Able to find a bit of a crease there and gets a nice little gain on 1st down.
Yeah, but he's holding that football like a loaf of bread, and eventually one of these hungry linebackers is going to come up and scoop it right out of there.
Maybe Cletus Castle can force a fumble for Michigan. Draw play, Saint the third, got turned around and pushed backwards, and that allows Raheem Darka to get in the backfield.
Well, you know you're having a rough night when at some point during the game you find yourself running the wrong way.
Well, you'll see the numbers, and you will see that Kane Saint the third is indeed having a rough night. 8 carries, only 21 yards, barely over 2.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, they got to get him going in the right direction.
3rd and 5. Asiata trying to set the halfback screen, finds Jesse Dozier, and Dozier's able to get the first down.
Well timed. Don't like it on 3rd down necessarily, but it worked for them there. I still would like Asiata to be a little bit more aggressive here and try to find somebody in the end zone.
Down to the 23, Asiata to throw. Going to the right side, able to find Minka Solo, who gets a turn on offense, and he gets it down inside the 5.
Well, apparently all of the Notre Dame receivers are gassed, and they're just filling them in with defensive secondary players. Who's willing to go out and run a route? I will. And Solo's out there and makes a nice catch.
Well, if you had to run a route 46 times, if not a little bit more, you'd probably be pretty gassed too.
Well, maybe if they use the running back a little more.
1st and goal from the 5. Asiata with pressure coming off the edge of John L. Jordan, but he finds Dexter Jackson in the end zone.
Well, again, another good route combination that completely befuddled this Michigan defense as it pulled all the secondary away from the targeted receiver. Jackson wide open at the back of the end zone. You don't find guys wide open that much. Again, an excellent play call by Notre Dame in execution. Now Michigan in a really tough spot is not only do they need to move the ball the entire length of the field, which they've struggled at all night long, but then they need to come up with another turnover on defense or an onside kick.
Down by 11. Touchback called as Staley chooses to kneel it. So ball spotted at the 25-yard line here for Michigan with 3:29 to play.
Is this a elimination game of sorts for Michigan? They'd have a hard road.
They would need a lot of help to get in if they had a shot. And Kurt Andrews, I guess, needs some help holding on to the football.
Well, I think Michigan needs some help figuring out their identity because, again, Tanner Jones is most effective running the read option and just haven't utilized it much.
Halfback screen, Dior Chapman slips a tackle. Cannot get away from Flowers. He gets 5. Now, time is really not Michigan's friend as we near this 3-minute mark, and Michigan's playing short of the line. It's chewing up clock.
Well, they need a 2-point conversion too. So if you don't get it, then you're going to need a touchdown. Yeah, a lot of things working against Michigan right here.
Jones to throw, pressure coming. Quick throw to the sideline. There's Andrews for 9 yards.
That's the one throw that I think Jones throws really well. Unfortunately, you can't keep throwing that play all night long.
Out of the gun, Jones to throw, blitz coming again, gonna take it a run, and he runs into Al Walker, who gets the sack.
Well, the fat lady is loosening up the vocal cords here as Walker does a good job getting in there. Wow, look at that move, just throwing the tackle out of the way. Nice power move there by Al Walker. He's got the old school face, man. He's an old school ball. I like that about him. Well, just old school. He goes to the old school, just throw the tackle out of the way. I'm not going to do this funny spin move and a slow switch. No, I'm just going to power you right out of the way.
Chapman motion out of the backfield. Jones going down to the left side, and he finds Juice Staley on offense for a gain of 23.
Well, it seems to be right now that the offenses are pretty much, hey, anybody that feels fresh, go out there and try to catch a pass.
Well, a flag is thrown as the offensive line maybe showing a little that they're a little gassed as a lack of concentration and a false start penalty.
Well, that can happen. You know, the more plays you run on offense, the more tired your team gets, the more mistakes they're prone to make.
So backed up 5 yards to the 49-yard line. Jones trying to set the halfback screen. Trey Greer making the catch, and Greer able to get back the yardage loss on the penalty, plus a lot more. He gets 11.
Reasonable play call. You know, again, I don't like how much they're utilizing it here, especially this late in the game, but it works out for them.
Tanner Jones with 3 receivers on the field. Halfback screen again, and he overthrows it, so 3rd down.
I think that was a protest by Tanner Jones. We're running this play too much. I'm not even going to try to complete it.
Well, it does stop the clock for Michigan, so it helps. It preserves their 3 timeouts, but there's 2:14 left on the clock. Jones to throw, tucks it, runs. Al Walker's there again.
Yeah, I think the book is out. You don't want to scramble towards Al Walker's side because he's just going to abuse your left tackle, and he's going to get in there and make a play.
Al Walker has been busy tonight. Not only has he been dealing out punishment on that left tackle and throwing him all over the field, he's been dealing out punishment on Tanner Jones tonight too.
Having himself a nice game.
4th and 11. Jones, 3-man rush. Coming over the middle, finding Benjamin, but he stopped short of the 1st down, and Notre Dame takes over.
I like the idea of going to your best receiver there and trying to get the 1st down, but you got to throw it past the 1st down marker, quit throwing it short, and depending on these guys to pick up the yardage.
So from their own 35, single back set, the give to Kane St. the 3rd to the inside, dragged down after a gain of 3. Michigan burns their 1st timeout.
Yeah, Logan Simmons getting in there for his 5th tackle. Michigan's going to take the timeouts here, but I mean, they still technically have a chance, but I think they pretty much wasted it on that last drive.
And off again to Kane St. the 3rd, slips 1 tackle, and then Ropeen will drag him down. 1 timeout now remaining for Michigan.
3rd and 4, you know, everything pretty much riding on this game right now for the Michigan defense.
Handoff, Dozier fighting, got there.
I wouldn't have expected Jesse Dozier to be the one to pick up the game-clinching 1st down, but there it is. And, you know, good job by Notre Dame. They struggled early on. They had 5 straight 3-and-outs. Their defense kept them in the game, and eventually their offense did just enough to pull it out. Now, I don't know if that's going to bode well during the rest of the season and into the playoffs. No. They're going to have to figure out their offense a little bit, but right now, they're doing what they need to win.
And they get the win here tonight. They improved to 3-1 in conference, 5-1 overall. Michigan, unfortunately, they'll fall to 1-5 as a big run here for Kane St. the 3rd, and he's still going out to about the 26-yard line. But, you know, Michigan's 1-3 in conference, and that means for them they have a long, difficult road if they hope to make the playoffs. And at this point, 1-3, and given the way the top of the Big Ten is stacked, they're going to need a lot of help to be able to get in.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it to see if it's even a possibility.
Yeah.
3-3 can some years get you in the playoffs, but like you said, I don't know if there's even a possibility. They do have a game coming up with Ohio State, so that's a possibility. They play USC next week, so theoretically, if they play those 2 games, if they win those 2 games, maybe they still need either Notre Dame or Texas to fall apart down the stretch, or Nebraska. Well, maybe 2 of the 3. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Well, Notre Dame's able to nail it out, and they get the win here tonight in Ann Arbor, which means their hopes of a Big Ten title, they're still alive. Tomorrow night, we've got 2 more exciting games for you on the slate. First, the Florida Gators, go to take on the Oregon Ducks, and that'll be followed up by the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Auburn Tigers. It all starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time over on Twitch on PX1 Sports. For Mike, I'm David. We'll see you then.